Yeah. Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's Wales Multi-Nation Leaders Call. Tonight we've got the fabulous Executive District Manager, soon to be Area Manager, Victoria McHale, talking to us about bubble training. So, hello Victoria.
Hi everyone. So I'm going to be doing the training tonight on the bubble chart strategy, which is taken from some calls that were done by Donna Johnson, who's an EMVP. And basically what a bubble chart is drawing out your organisation in a chart. And through this training, I'm going to cover working for efficiency, getting the most from your month, and also why you need to do this for your success. Okay, so she does also cover in this training a lot about yourself and working on yourself before you start thinking about working on your bubble chart and working on your team. And she starts by talking about a book called Making the First Circle Work, You, by Randy Gage. I was going to start by giving you some information taken from this book, because I've started looking into it, and it looks a really good book to get hold of. It's I can't find it on audio at the minute, but I found it on Amazon at the moment. So here's some quotes from him. So the first one he says is, we set the tone for our organisation and model the behaviour. And it says, unfortunately, due to human nature, 90% of the bad we do is duplicated and only 40 to 50% of the good we do. And it says, make sure you're setting a good example for your team, and people will do what you do and not what you say. So make sure you're doing the right things. He also goes on to say, you must be willing to fight for your dreams against the negativity of the herd. Reduce your time with the dream stealers. Hang out with the people who lift you up and not those that bring you down. And it says, it will, can't read my own words now. It will be our dreams that will cause us to find the time, face the fears, and persevere through the challenges. And then a last quote from him that I really liked was, surround yourself with people who dream bigger than you do. So that was all taken from the book by Randy Gage, Making the First Circle Work. So after reading just those few quotes, and I did find a web page that had 38 quotes, so obviously I didn't read them all out, but that's just a really good starting place, and it's made me want to go on and get that book. Yeah, it's £18 from Amazon, that's what I found. So I definitely want to get that book. She, all the way through her calls, points you in the direction of her webpage, which is Spirit Wings. So if you go onto Donna Johnson's Facebook page, you can find the link to Spirit Wings, which has a lot of the documents that she talks about that I'll mention tonight as well. So basically, what is a bubble chart that you're going to need in your business is basically drawing out, getting a piece of paper, putting yourself right in the middle, which is what links to that book, Making the First Circle Work. You're right in the center. So don't draw yourself at the top with a pyramid going down or from the bottom going up or anything. You're right in the center, and you draw on people within your business, and they want you to do this every month because your chart will change every month. You need to do this to get a strategy that's going to work with people more efficiently, because you'll have people within your business that are working at different paces. And she talks about people that are working at a walk, a jog, a run. And again, there's more detail about this on her webpage, saying like people that are working at a walk pace will do maybe 1 to 2 one-to-ones a week, and only 0 to 0 group presentations, and then so on. She goes through the walk, the jog, and the run. And she says your business will ebb and flow. So someone might be a walk one month, but next month they might be a run. But that's why she says the bubble chart is a monthly thing that you do, not just something that you do and then add to it. She talks about a healthy relationship. So how do you appear as a leader? How does your team see you? You need to be modeling the right behaviour. Are you the one that, are you in activity yourself? Do you make appointments with your team and then cancel them? So you've got to make sure that you're showing the right things that you want your team to duplicate, and not the things that you don't want them to duplicate. And a quote from Donna Johnson is, your team is watching, make sure you're giving them a good show. She says once you've first sponsored someone, to use the personal strategy worksheet that is on her Spirit Wings website. And when she launches a person, she has a 1, 2, 3 welcome to the team strategy, which starts straight away with this form, the personal strategy worksheet. And on that, people fill in what their dreams are, what's going to make them do this, what's their goal. And the idea of this sheet is to get on with it. She says do this before their pack comes, because you've got to get in there first before the doubt sets in and before any dream stealers come along. So going back to the bubble chart, she says put yourself in the middle, making sure that you're in activity, and you need to work on your central for this bubble chart, so your central district, your central area, and only you're going to be only working with those that are really putting the effort in. So people who are just doing personal orders for themselves aren't going to be the ones that build your business to success. So she says there'll be people that are actually doing the business and actually going out there and doing the activity, but then you'll have those that are saying they want to do it but aren't actually doing anything about it. So she, on the bubble chart, I'm drawing one somewhere, I don't know whether that shows up very well. So you've got you in the center. At the top, put the ones that say they want to build this business, they want to make it a success, but currently aren't in any activity at all. So they go at the top. And the ones at the bottom, I've only got numbers on mine, the ones at the bottom are those that are doing activity. They're out there actively setting up one-to-ones, doing presentations, and out there building their business. They go at the bottom, and they're the ones that you're putting your effort in. And as I say, this can change monthly. So those that are at the bottom next month might move to the top. Those that are at the top might come down to the bottom in the next month. And she says keep this in a file. She said get a file, have your monthly bubble chart at the front, and then have a dividing section for each one of your ICs. She said, first of all, talking to the top people. So the people at the top who have said to you that they want to build the business, they really want to be successful, but they're currently not in activity. She said, have a word with them and say, I want this as much as you do. And I know you've started really well. What's changed? Let's refer back to this personal strategy worksheet that they started when they first joined the business, that has their original goals and their original dreams on. Go back and refer back to that. So it's not about you, you're linking it back to their dreams, you're making it really personal to them, and you're reminding them why it was that they joined Arbonne and why it is that they want to do this business. And she says a really, really powerful thing to say that to them is, let me know when you're ready to start making money and I'll be here. That was her personal quote. Let me know when you're ready to start making money and I'll be here. And she says people will always come up with 3 excuses while they're not doing the activity. So it always comes in 3s. It might be, I've got too much on my plate. Somebody's been ill, and I've just not got time this month. They always seem to come up with the excuses in 3s. And she says, don't move them from that bubble chart, from the top to the bottom, until they start doing the activity. She talks about then, why is it important that we carry out this bubble chart? And she said it is a business and we need to treat it like one. It helps us to use our time effectively rather than just helping everyone and kind of wasting time with people who aren't ready to get out there and do the activity. Obviously check in with them, and I'll come back to a bit in a moment about how to help them to move forward. But it helps you focus your time where it's needed to be with those business builders that are going to help you move your business forward. It highlights to you who's working. It says that some people are in denial about who in their team is working, and some people themselves are in denial that they're actually doing the activity. It also helps you highlight where you've got empty circles. So when you draw your bottom bit, if you've got only a couple of active people, you can draw yourself some empty circles, and they can be filled with new ICs that you can spend time with. So it highlights, well, actually, I'm only currently working with 2 active people who need my time right now, so I can fill those circles. And she said, don't put off till next week, because next week it will never happen. Just a second. Okay, so then it moved on to part 2 of the training, which went over some of part 1 and some additional bits. And she said in this one, she was talking about using the bubble chart to implement goal setting. So once you've drawn out your bubble chart for the month, how are you going to work with those people that are at the bottom? She said she organises coaching calls with each of the people that are at the bottom of the chart, and within that they set up their goals for the month. But she said don't focus on the coming month until you've talked about the month that's just gone. She says do this, so set this up in the first 1 to 3 days at the beginning of the month. She said don't leave it any longer, make sure it's always in the first 1 to 3 days. And she said review the past month first. She said start with no shame, no stories. So you need to come out with what was your numbers and your stats for the month previous, break it right down. What was your central stats? What did you do on personal sales? How did you go on sponsoring? And within her chart, she has different goals. So she has a commit goal and a stretch goal. So people make their commit goal, and basically they're saying they are definitely going to do this goal, whatever they've decided that goal is. And then they have a stretch goal. And then first of all, she goes through, did you meet your commit goal? Did you meet your stretch goal? Or did you fail to meet either of them? And she said, if they didn't hit these goals, then you need to find the leak in the pipeline. So if you imagine a pipe with water flowing through it, you would expect the water to come flowing out of the other end. If it's only coming out as a trickle, then there must be a leak in the pipe. So what is that leak? You need to identify what the leak is. Is it belief? Is it desire? Is it a skill that they're missing? Have they not asked enough people that previous month? Did they speak to them but not make a booking? Did they fail to hold the booking? Or was there failure in the closing? Once they've identified the leak, we need to fix the leak. So if you're going to move forward, then we've got to fix that leak. So that's about reviewing the past month, and then go on to book and set next month's goals, again with stretch goals and commit goals. She says there's 2 ways that we can go into goals. So we can, one person might allow disappointment and distraction to stop us making those goals. We make excuses that stop us reaching those goals, or we can choose to lean into it and go for it and never give up. So that's 2 ways you can look at goals and how you can deal with them. Sorry, I went off track a bit there. So if people aren't hitting their goal, then they'll want to step away from it. So they'll avoid meeting you to discuss how your previous month's gone. So if they say, oh, I'll just email you it, then it's probably that they're not meeting their goal. So get together with them, talk them through it, and find out what those leaks are in the pipe. do mention that you are, oh, that was right back at the minute, mixed up. You aren't their boss. It's their business and they do need to be independent. You're not responsible for their success, but you just need to be there to set the example. And she uses the quote that I think everyone knows: you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So it is about getting your people in your team to be independent. Okay, another book that she refers to is Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. And I've got some quotes that I've taken from there. And she said in that book, let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are. The willingness to show up changes us and makes us a little bit braver each time. Sometimes the bravest and most important thing you can do is to show up. And I don't think I've missed anything off there. So that's my training on the bubble chart, how to use the bubble chart and how to use it within your team and for goal setting. Is everybody unmuting?
That was brilliant, Victoria. I love that training that Donna does. I've listened to it. I was saying to Danny in the car today, I've listened to it about 4 times now, but I had to get onto this Zoom because I just wanted to hear someone else's take on it. It's fantastic. I love it. Are we still recording, Danny? Does anybody want to add to what Victoria said from your own experiences? Who uses the bubble chart? Does anybody use it at the minute?
I personally had been using it, but in a different way. So I didn't know about organising people in different pages, in different places on the paper. So all I'd originally done is put myself in, put my ICs in and had empty circles. So I'd watched a training that Danny had done in the past about having empty circles and they always get filled. So I'd literally just been using it in that way.
Yeah, and I still do that, but I also do the bubble chart as well, which is, I just find it really, for me, it just simplifies things, if that makes sense. So I don't have to think, oh my gosh, I've got all these people to worry about. I can just concentrate on the ones that really need my help that moment. Kelly Bromley, were you going to say something?
You and Danny both said that at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I normally have something to say. I thought your training, Victoria, was amazing. Thank you so much for that. That was really, really good. I remember when I first started my business, I had like a monthly or even a weekly meeting with my directs, and I kind of kept that going, and then it kind of fizzled out. And I think it's so important, like what you just said, to have that monthly review with them, go back over and to look at your goals, and okay, so you didn't make your goals, or you did your goals, or you made this, or you did this, or you didn't do that, and break down the QV. And I think that's absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to go back to doing that. I don't know why it stopped. I really don't know. So one thing or another. So I'm definitely going to start doing that now. So thank you very much for that. That's brilliant.
Would anybody else like to add anything? Mrs. Wells, Senior.
That made me laugh. Yeah, no, that was brilliant, Vic. I've been listening to Donna Johnson's Green Bay training a lot this past week, and she always says, and Rita Davenport always say to listen to things 7 times, because each time you listen to something, you'll get something new from it. So I've listened to this once, I'll keep listening to it again, and I'm doing that now with everything I listen to as well. But that was great. I haven't, like you say, I've done the bubble chart of my team and everything in blank circles, but I've not used it in that way. So I'll certainly be looking at doing that going forward, definitely. So brilliant.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. I've done it with my team, but not been moving things around. So yeah, it's a really good idea. Fab training, Vic.
Okay, thank you everybody.